Hi guys, I've been asked by a few people to share my chain sharpening technique with y'all. Just want to show you what I use. I don't see many videos on YouTube that talk about using one of these. This is a roller file guide. It's made by Husqvarna, I do believe. They make, this one's for 3/8 chain, and they also make a smaller one for 3/25 chain. But all this is a guide for your file that fits over your saw bar, and I'll just kind of show you how it works here. First of all, you'll notice there's little arrows inside of it. Make sure you don't put this on the wrong way. It's kind of only made to go on properly one way. But I'll just start by sharpening this tooth right here. Just drop it over the chain, and you'll notice that it kind of sits at an angle, because as you file this tooth down, it gets shorter on the back side of it. If you notice that your saw is making a lot of dust instead of a pile of chips, then you need to sharpen your chain. This is probably the easiest and most effective way to sharpen your chain, in my opinion. Next thing you're going to need a good quality file. The chain that I am using is Stihl RS chain. It's a full chisel chain, and the size of this file is 7/32 of an inch. You have to use the proper size for what you need, but once you got this set up on your tooth, all that you have to do is get your file, put it right down there in the tooth, and don't try to do too much. But these rollers keep that file in the proper angle and the proper position, and they will let you get an absolute great edge on that tooth. These are set up for 30-degree cutter angles, so there's nothing wrong with that at all, I feel like, most of the time. Once you made a few passes with your file, you'll be able to tell if it's got a real good edge on it. You go ahead and do this for every cutter on your chain. To do the other cutters, I'm just going to flip that little, flip it around, and you're going to run your file through the other way. I'm not going to do this, but just so you can kind of see what to do. After you've got all of your teeth sharp, the next part, a lot of people disregard this and they end up with a chain that doesn't cut very good or doesn't cut very long. This little tool right here is called an Oregon Gauge It. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. All that this little thing does, fits over the teeth, and it leaves an exposed part of the tooth for you to file. This one is set at 0.025 or 25/1000ths of an inch, and once you have it set over that, you just take your square file and you're going to file away the depth guide there. This is called a depth gauge or a raker, and if you do not file this down, your tooth will not be able to take in a bite of wood. So you have definitely got to set your depth gauges. And don't just think you can come through here with a grinder and grind all these off, because if you set your depth gauges too deep, you're going to have a chain that is extremely grabby, and you will probably tear up your chainsaw. So leave some comments down below if you have any questions, but I'll try to post a link to these little tools. I think you can buy these on Amazon or go down to your local farm supply store. These are Husqvarna roller file guides. Good little tool. Happy sharpening, guys.